Over the last week or so, Oscar Health has been getting a lot of buzz on their stock after gaining 65% just last week. Now, with a lot of investors diving in and doing their research this weekend after that huge stock gain, a lot of investors have found out how great their financials are. And investors like me, who have been invested in Oscar since February of this year, know exactly what these financials look like, know exactly where we are headed, and that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what Oscar is looking like on their current hourly, daily, and weekly timeframes. We're going to talk about price targets for the next few weeks, next few months, and years down the road. I have about a 5-year price target for Oscar Health that is going to be very, very important for you guys to pay attention to. And I do believe that if Oscar is able to continue to replicate what they have done in the past and continue to compound their growth, they will 100% end up at this monumental price target that I have and will give you guys at the end of this video. For now, let's quickly jump into my portfolio and take a look at my current Oscar holdings. Oscar Health. You guys can see that I have around 751 shares of Oscar Health at a current average cost of around $15.44. Now, I have brought my average cost up around $1 per share, but in my opinion, it is much more important to have a higher share count than a lower cost basis. Now, this has led to a 30% return within my personal holding for about a $3,400 gain. Now, we were down around 1.5% for around $250 lost today, but I did get some really strong buys in down here at around $19 even. Actually, scrolling down here, you guys can see that I went ahead and bought a good bit of shares at around $19.45. So that was really strong for us here. And then you guys can also see over here in my Roth IRA that I am holding Oscar Health as well now, being up around $27 as I did buy in today. And my average cost over here is going to be about $19.70. And just a really quick word before we do get into this video, I do want to let you guys know that we have our free Discord linked in the description down below. You guys can join over 500 plus profitable traders, and we have over $500,000 in premium profits year to date. Now we're looking to target around $3 to $5 million, so make sure you guys do join up and do not miss out on that opportunity. Look at the chart here, you guys can see that we are in this obvious bull flag. As I do zoom out here on the 30-minute time frame, this is quite clear that we are seeing a nice little bull flag or bullish wedge, whichever way you want to put it. This is looking very, very bullish, and it looks like we are actually breaking out of this. Now, I do want to be wary that there is a good possibility that we could possibly do a move like this, where we are going to come back down and retest and then move higher. Now, either way, we are going to move up, but that is what I am looking for, and I am actually hopeful for, so that I can get deeper into my calls and even get larger positions within my share count. But for now, there is strong reason to believe that we may have bottomed within this dip. Taking a look when I draw out our Fibonacci retracement, it is clear to see that we did barely tap in to our golden zone here and then absolutely rocketed back out of it. This was a crazy 30-minute candle all the way down to around $18.40 and all the way back up to around $19.50. So this was a nice little swing right there, and a lot of investors went ahead and bought under that $19 price, which is a great sign to see and a very, very bullish sign to see within this stock. Now, another bullish sign that I want to talk about is going to be this support and resistance flip that we are seeing with our old time frames. Now, when I do go over to the 4-hour here and zoom out, you guys can see how well the support and resistance has flipped, taking our prior resistance and turning it into new support. As long as we can hold these levels, this will be so incredibly bullish for this stock. So I am expecting a good move to come out of this in the next few days. And what I am expecting this move to go to is going to be pretty nice. You guys should see north of $25 coming after this next move. I do think that this next move will take us to around $32 in whole. I do think that there will be a nice little dip after we hit around 27, most likely bringing us back down to around 23, and then from there back up to around $32. Now, panning over to the weekly time frame, there's a lot to look at, so I'm going to go ahead and break this down as simple as possible. Now, all of these lines right here are going to be our micro moves inside of our macro trends. So right here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave theory move is going to be a micro move inside of our third wave macro move for our Elliott wave theory move. And then from there, we'll have an ABC correction. And then once again, it will start again. ABC correction is going to be our fourth wave move. And then our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave theory will take us up for our fifth wave. Now, I do understand how that can be a bit confusing, but it does come with time. So as you guys can see, we are actually starting our third wave macro move and micro move right now. And then from there, we'll be brought down and back up for the completion of our macro third wave move. Now, I do understand that that is quite confusing, so let's break this down. The stock is going up. The stock is going to rip. The stock is going to go north of $30 within the next few months. Now, this is of course if these levels are to hold, but I'm very, very confident in this name. With a market cap still sitting at about $4.5 billion, this is still a severely undervalued stock. Guys, they are bringing in around $15 billion when it all is all said and done by the end of this year, over $5 billion in free cash flow, and this company is only worth $4.5 billion. Bringing in over $15 billion, worth $5 billion. That is not adding up. And with my math taking me up to around a $15 billion market cap, that would make us reach about our $45 target for our third wave move. And that isn't even forecasting out for what this company can be. And that is what those companies are looking like. Things like Palantir trading at a forward PE of 250 right now. Now, something like that can happen for Oscar, of course, but a fair value for the stock is lying somewhere between $45 and $64. And that is where I believe we're headed, especially with all of this hype building on things like X and Reddit. More and more people are going to see this name, more and more eyes are going to get onto the stock. And when people really see how well these financials are doing, they are going to be piling in, much like we have seen with Robinhood, Hims, Palantir, other stocks like that have just been absolutely insane. This is only the beginning. So please, guys, make sure that you guys are getting into your position and do not miss out on this absolute multi-bagger. If you guys made it this far in the video, make sure you guys do like and subscribe as always, and comment down below how many shares of Oscar Health you own. Now, I do want to go ahead and jump into our price targets for Oscar Health, and our first one is going to be our third wave move up to around $45.19, and from our entry, that will be about a 208% return, and from current prices, that would be about a 126% return. So there still is plenty of room on the table for this thing to run, and with our fifth wave target being around 341% gains up to around $64, and with current prices today, that is still a 225% gain. Now, this is something that can come by mid-year 2026. I expect that by about this time next year. But given that nice 335% return, I do have a fun little concept to talk about with y'all. Now, this concept is coming from Stockwell. Him and I have talked a little bit about Oscar Health and our love for this company, but he put out a tweet the other day that I was very interested in, saying that Oscar Health is currently sitting around $5.5 billion in market cap, while something like UNH is sitting at around $273 billion in market cap. Now, if Oscar Health is to become a $100 billion market cap company, just a third of what UNH is worth, it would be over $392 per share. Now, with a current price at around $20.05, that is quite the gain. And taking a look at what that gain would actually come out to, that would be about a 2,594% gain from our current prices today. Now, obviously, this is something that would come over the next few 5 years to a decade, maybe even longer, something that would most likely take 10 to 20 years if we were to truly scale it out and say, when is Oscar Health going to hit $100 billion, if at all, of course. But if they are to continue to operate well, continue to generate more income, more revenue, and more free cash flow, there is no reason why this company cannot be the next UNH, especially with a business operating as well as they currently are. Now, predicting a 2,600% gain within a stock is a bit ambitious, but I do think given a long time horizon in a company that is set to run in the future, I do think that this is a great time to take a good shot at a company like Oscar Health, a company that is generating more and more revenue every quarter and every year, more and more income and free cash flow, and continuing to operate within their business model. Now, I am expecting Oscar Health to hit around $45 by the end of this year, and I'm expecting $55 to $65 by the middle of 2026. Now, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for me today. That was my Oscar thesis in full. Make sure you guys let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys do like and subscribe as always, and I will see you guys in the next video.